Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. We're doing this backwards now. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York. We find ourselves, well, some would say inside Mount Kilimanjaro in the continent of Africa, but currently we may or may not find ourselves there. It's really a sort of Schrödinger situation there, as we actually zoom in on a basement where there is Jacob who just had to do something pretty hard. Jacob, would you mind describing how you feel right now as Chloe's standing there, you know, sort of very close to you?
Oh, he feels awful. Just absolutely awful. Kinda hates himself right now.
Oh,
He's very, very upset and very angry. Mainly upset.
Chloe will, offer him support.
He
I
he
think
will.
it was brave what you did. She'll
Like,
hold him for a while.
Jacob doesn't really speak too much. Um, After about a good 10 to 15 second pause, he'll just say, "I hated it. I hate this."
I know. I know you do. And I'm sorry it had to be you.
Yeah.
You can stay here as long as you like. We can talk if you want. When you're ready, you can go through that door. It'll lead outside and it will bring you to a lake.
How have things been?
It's been, well, you know, still, nation is still a nation. We fight. Some die, some don't. Things have been tough, but I don't think that'll ever really change.
I'm glad to see you're still around.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it too. So, how have things been in New York?
A lot of changes. I'm the master challenges now, which is nice.
I've heard. Congratulations.
I run a new pack. Um, Strider's met a pretty nice conclusion. Reindeer still has his shrine. I still look after it.
I'm glad you do. I must admit that I've made a shrine for him myself. It felt like the right thing to do.
Hope he's happy with you.
I'm sure he's happy with you.
Hope so.
Have a little faith.
And he'll hug her again.
Yep, the hug is returned.
Well, I suppose I should get going then.
Yeah, let me walk you for a bit.
Sure.
She'll walk towards the door and leads you into a hallway, up a stairs, until you come basically to like a back door. It opens up. And as the door opens up, you feel a cold wind hitting you. You look out, and the it's a field that you see. There's no trees. The air is cloudy, dark. Clouds hang above. The field is white with snow. In the distance, you see what appears to be a lake. It's kind of glittering.
Jacob.
Almost if. Sorry,
What's
go
that?
on.
No, I
No,
was
go on.
just to say, Jacob just kind of shivers, not really dressed for such a cold environment.
Hmm. Chloe will look at him and says, "Well, this is where we part ways."
It was good to see you again.
You too. Drop by, okay? Don't be a stranger.
Will do.
And with that, she'll walk inside and the doors close.
Oh god, so this is Russia, huh? Jacob says as he's constantly rubbing his arms. Kinda bent over ever so slightly, scrunched up a little bit just to deal with the cold wind.
The wind will pick up as you say this, almost defiantly so. Trying to push you over, maybe.
Ugh. Okay, okay.
You move forward to the lake. It's kind of glistens, almost as if the sun is shining on it. However, the clouds indicate no sun. As you approach, the snow gets deeper and deeper till it comes up to your knees. Below you, you start hearing a crackling of ice. And finally, you reach the lake. Strangely enough, there's no snow on it itself. As you look at the lake, you can see why it looks like it glistens. It's like silver. It's frozen though. Stand on it. You don't see anyone yet.
Jacob starts he'll kind of just put a foot out onto the lake, see how steady it is.
There's no sound as you put your foot on the ice.
Jacob begins to spread his weight out and then will slowly begin to drag his other foot onto the lake.
And as you slowly start walking onto the lake, you start to see some movement underneath the ice in the middle of the lake.
Okay. He's gonna very slowly head towards it. He takes his time. He doesn't really know how steady the ice is here, so
As you start to approach the midst of the lake, from time to time you sometimes hear like a little, but nothing seems to give way. I seem still to be sturdy enough. And as you come to the middle of the lake, underneath the ice, you'll see a familiar face.
hey there, Jacob says. He looks a little bit awkward just because of the way he's standing. It's he's kind of standing as to spread his weight out over the lake so that he doesn't fall in. So he
The
kind of looks like he's in some sort of awkward power pose.
the figure under the ice looks at you, eyes wide open. There's bubbles escaping from her mouth. She doesn't look frightened.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
She smiles. There's more bubbles escaping her mouth as she It looks like she looks like she's shouting your name.
Is she trapped under the lake?
Well, have you ever seen someone being comfortable underneath the ice?
Pardon?
She's underneath the ice.
Oh yeah, that's not good. Jacob.
You can see her starting to, uh, pound
Oh yeah,
on the
he'll
ice.
yeah, Jacob will point a fist. He like what he does just prior to that is that he like more pounds the ice, just points to his fist like yeah, and we'll just
You can see her shaking her head
n- no
wildly.
no.
Her eyes start to get wider. There's more bubbles escaping.
Jacob's getting very mixed signals here.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, well, she doesn't look like she's having the best time underwater right now because oxygen is a concern. Um, so yeah, I think what he's gonna do. Let's see. He wants to see if he can. Yeah, he needs to cut out part of the ice so that she can breathe.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what he's gonna do. He'll just partially transform a claw. Um, hmm. No, he'll just actually no. He has his clay with him. He'll use that because his claw he needs to partially transform, and there's no real guarantee he can do that. That's actually extremely difficult. And he doesn't really know how long Salate has left in the water, so he's just going to use his clave to create a small hole that she can kind of come up out under.
She sees you pull the clave, and again she starts wildly shaking her head. At the same time, she does shift to Krinos, which is her natural form. Isn't all that big, but you know this.
Mm.
She seems to once more be pounding against the ice, um, as there's less and less bubbles kind of appearing around her mouth and nose. Funnily enough, whatever she does doesn't affect the ice at all.
Okay, so she has no impact on the ice.
Nope.
Um, but she doesn't want Jacob to pound it?
It appears that way.
Is there any clues to what she's trying to communicate?
Well, she's shaking her head. You can roll me a P&E.
Yeah. Okay, go 5. If attentive applies.
Yeah, sure, why not? Um, she seems to be extremely scared. She's gaining rage. Um, she's clearly drowning. Yet she doesn't want your help.
Oh. Lassie never wanted anybody's help, so...
Also, the water surrounding her are silver.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Wait, what's surrounding her?
Water. She's underwater, and it's sort of like a silvery kind of water. Now, you've never been to Erebus, so you don't know about the Silver River. You don't know about the color of that. This is, hmm, it's weaker than that. It's more like a silver shine to the water.
Okay,
You can see that Platine starts to gain more and more rage as she kind of starts to lose focus.
yeah, Jacob will just shift the... No, not shift the Kronos. He's just gonna... yeah, he's just gonna punch through the water, I think.
If you want, you can roll me an intelligence psychology because I know you've used that a lot on her.
Yes. 2 successes.
Okay, I will give you 2 questions, and based on that, you can probably, get some more information.
Um,
First of all, what is Tlatus auspice?
Fiedge.
Mm-hmm. Second of all, what has always been her greatest goal?
I can't remember, it's been a year. A year and a half, Saskia, come on.
Tlatine's greatest goal, as Jacob was back then kind of aware of and may have, picked up now that he's seeing her struggle again, was to die in service of the nation, preferably to save what she considered to be a better Garou than herself. She was a Wendigo Theurge.
Okay. Um, she would have died here, like, keeping this lake up, though. Like, Jacob still has no direction. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for her to die here? Um,
You can see that her movement becomes like, weaker. Like, the pounding gets less heavy.
Um,
Her eyes start to close.
I don't really know what to do here, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Guess I'm just gonna.
She starts to think.
I guess I'm just gonna help her because that's what Jacob would do. So yeah, Jacob's just gonna pull her out. Fuck it.
Okay, roll your strength brawl. No, you add your clave out strength melee to try and break through the ice. You'll need 5 successes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'll spend a point of willpower on this.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, 5 successes of willpower.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to smash a hole in it big enough that you can put your arm in.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out Salate.
Okay. You grab her. You pull her out. Even in Krinos, she's not weighing that much. She was always tiny.
Lying giving me super strength might help.
Hmm. The water kind of stings. Roll me your stamina.
Key. 1 success.
Okay. You can see like almost as if your arm has been burned, sort of like boils appearing on your skin. Um, it's not as bad as it could be. But
Okay.
yeah, you pull Plate out, and she lies there in Krynos uh, on the ice. And the ice starts to uh, almost immediately after you pull her out, the eyes start to close again, and you can see the silver shine starts to disappear from the lake.
Okay. Well, Jacob needs to get Salate off this lake, and also needs to make sure she's breathing. Is she breathing?
Well, our lungs are pretty full of water.
Well, I get that out.
Okay, do you have medicine?
I think I actually do now.
Okay,
1 sec. I do have a medicine dot.
roll intelligence medicine.
Oh, that's horrible. That's a botch.
That is a botch. Um, wow. Okay. Um, you pull like you've seen movies. You know what you have to do when someone has water in their lungs, and if you kind of bend forward and you um start compressing her chest, she'll just vomit the silver water into your face.
Ugh. Ow.
Yeah. Ow. Can roll me another stamina.
Okay, I'll spend a willpower on this one. Because I don't want to roll like that again. Oh boy, am I glad I spent that willpower.
I mean, I'll give it to you with willpower. Yeah, you feel your face starting to swell up as it kind of starts to feel. And if you look into the eyes, look at your own reflection and see that it looks the same as your arm right now. There's boils all over your face. It hurts. Um, Platine coughs. and opens her eyes. Looks at Jacob. The
She was.
fuck?
Oh my god, oh. Oh, oh, that does not go over cold breeze.
Why did you do that?
It has to talk. You were drowning, so
Uh, yeah.
drowning's bad.
No.
Yes,
No.
yes.
You don't understand. I had to.
Why did you? Ow. Okay. Why did you have to?
I was performing a Chiminich. We almost had it bound. And, for dramatic effect, at that point, you'll hear some sort of a mixture between a scream and a roar, and you see in the distance, you see like ice breaking up and being almost shot into the air. And Platine looks at it and it's like, oh shit. Like that's literally just on her face, like, oh shit.
Well, oh god. Whoops, my bad. Are we gonna do this the old-fashioned way, or?
Hey, you gotta run. You're not supposed to be here. Why are you here? Come on. And she'll grab Jacob at the not hurt arm, starts pulling him along.
Fuck, okay.
This is not a two-Garou situation. It's, they're running. You can hear more screams. You start to hear a fight breaking out behind them. Until you find, like, some trees, rocks, kind of making sure that you can hide behind it for a bit.
Fuck. Fuck, I fucked up.
Yeah, you did. Raya.
Yeah, you're an Adrian. I'm not Uriah. God damn it. Ah.
Look, it happened, okay? Just,
Why were you drowning yourself?
do you know how many people I would have been able to save?
Surely you can save people without always putting your life on the line.
I'm only a menace.
I don't care.
Do you know how many Garou are going to die now?
Look, there has to be a way to stop that thing that doesn't involve you literally drowning yourself and dying.
Well, we don't have much of a choice anymore. Now I have to deal with Wendigo being pissed off as well.
To be fair, in my experience, Wendigo generally is. I feel like you're going to be dealing with that for most
That's
of your life.
because you're not of his tribe. You don't understand him the way we do.
No, that's true.
Well, It was nice seeing you again, Raya, for
I'm
however short
sorry.
it was.
Look, I just don't. I don't like seeing you hurt yourself.
Sometimes the nation requires sacrifices of us. It's something that's gone throughout our history. We've had entire tribes sacrifice themselves to stop things. Many who were much more powerful than I was. Do you think I was the only one in the lake? I just was the last one.
Just let me know next time, okay? Last time something like this happened, I didn't even have a chance to say goodbye to you.
I'm sorry. It happened fast.
Haga.
I didn't see it coming. I didn't expect it. Should have expected it, but I didn't.
Well, I'm sorry I made your afterlife even harder. Do you need my help? Do you even want it at this point?
We all have our own path to walk. Your path is not here. You're just crossing.
Yeah, if only it could have been before or after. God damn it.
You were later than I expected you.
I generally take my time.
This is true. Do like to talk.
Yeah. But, I think I'm keeping you, so,
I'm sure we'll meet soon. I hope it won't be too soon. Look, if you go between these rocks, soon you'll see the snow will start to lessen. Somewhat. You'll find... Mm, there's... When it gets dark, you'll see a fire. Go there. And tell my brother I say hi.
sure thing.
And with that, she'll uh, show her throat and runs off in the direction of the screams.
Jacob doesn't feel too good about that. And we'll lunge off in the opposite direction.
Yep. You start going between the rocks, and the rocks turn almost into mountains, rising on either side of you. The snow starts to slowly become less and less. It's still there, but it's more a muddy kind of slush that you drag your feet through. Um, it starts to become rain, and you walk a muddy road as slowly the sun starts to set, and as it becomes almost too dark for you to see, in the distance you will see a fire. And you see a shadow sitting near the fire.
Oh shit, well, I was wondering when I'd run into you.
He looks up. Jacob? What are you
Alright.
doing here?
Um, taking a very roundabout route to a harp, apparently.
That does sound roundabout indeed. I've not heard of a harp in this area.
No, it's in Kilimanjaro, as I said, a very roundabout route.
The hell are you doing in Scandinavia, boy?
Hell if I know. Been running into a lot of people I knew, still here and some gone over the past few hours, so I guess it was only a matter of time until I ran into you.
Well, now that you're here anyway.
Hmm?
You can help me out with some stuff.
Uh, what you need wasn't too much of help to Slase just a few minutes ago. Ended up kind of fucking up what she was doing.
Well, that's my one rule. Don't fuck up.
Well,
So here's your
that's,
chance to redeem yourself.
yeah. Probably the one rule I've never been particularly good at following, but there you go. So what exactly do you need?
Well, you know where we are?
Scandinavia, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah.
Eric will laugh and will slap you on the shoulders.
Yeah. Kind of a ooh. You know, sometimes I almost forget that these are actually things outside of my bubble. Um sure, I can help you with a thing like that. I mean, I'm not gonna pretend as if I can stay too long.
Well, I think you arrived at the right time. But,
Yeah.
so, right across that hill over there,
Yep.
there's some trouble there.
I figured what sort of trouble.
The wormish sort. What else would there be here?
Yeah, I know of a wormish sort, Eric. I was just wondering what sort of wormish shit.
There's some real messed up bane there. Well,
Mm.
there's more than one, but there's one in particular that seems to be leading this all. And I have a group of Garu that are scared shitless and do not want to fight.
Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to make a speech again. Shit.
A speech? I don't need a sissy talk.
Oh, thank God. I hate speeches.
I need you to lead them.
You know, surprisingly, I'm much more confident with that than I am at public speaking.
Well, what are you waiting for?
It's a good question. Alright.
And yeah, Eric will stand up and will lead you towards, basically around a corner where there's more campfires. There's Garu, mostly Hamid. You see a lot of Gets. There are a few others, a few Fiona, a few Tenna even. Um, Shadow Lord, an odd Silverfang here and there. Children of Gaia, name it. There's about 20 of them. But they all seem extremely tired, most of them wounded. You can tell by the lack of laughter, of drinking, just the silence that's sort of hanging around these campfires that people are about to give up.
Jesus, never seen a Fenrir gathering so miserable before.
We've been fighting for years.
Understandable.
We've lost about as many to the worm as we've lost to Arano. This place has tendency to drown your will out of you.
Oh, I certainly know that feeling. Hmm.
Look, I'll take half of them. You'll take the other half. One last march.
Hey man, knowing you, it's not gonna be your last march yet.
No, but for many of us it will be.
Fair enough.
He'll stand up, like in the midst of all the campfires. Will scrape his throat. Is that the way to say it? I guess. I hope. If not, sorry. And we'll start talking. You can see as he kind of explains that this is all real simple and well. We're fighting. We've been fighting for a long while. It's been an overwhelming force, and most of it is right around this hill. Now I know that you're tired. I know that you've lost friends, family, but we are Garu. We will fight the worm no matter what. Our lives don't matter as long as the nation stands. And they'll start, handing out orders, picking people for almost like hand picking them for different teams until he takes a group of 10 and walk over to Jacob and says, "Here you have the others.
Thanks.
Go
Jacob
to the
will
right, I'll go to the left. We'll meet in the middle. Simple, effective."
hold him in a vice grip. I like it.
Mm, Eric will clasp your arm and, head off with his 10 Garu. And you're faced with another 10. They're kind of looking at you.
Yep. Jacob, Jacob gauges them a little bit. Um, and Yeah, he's just gonna go chin up. Fight's not lost yet.
One
You
of
gotta.
them steps up to you. It's like, I haven't seen you around here. What do you mean, fight's not lost yet? You even know what we're facing?
Jacob. Jacob kind of looks back and kind of behind him. We're gonna be facing whatever's around that hill.
Yeah. You know that there was once like 20 packs here? Now there's 20 Garou here.
Sorry, what did you say? How many packs?
20.
And now there's
20 Garou, not packs.
Okay, that makes sense.
One of the other guys will kind of, bump speaker to the shoulder. It's like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, we're gonna fight. We have to, but you know. He kind of stops there and just looks at Jacob.
Well then. I think you've answered your own question, haven't you? I may not be one of you, but those 20 packs were.
Most of them start to, nod and yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I don't intend for their sacrifices to be for nothing. And when we're done here, yours and mine won't be for nothing either.
Like, sound of agreements are starting to increase, though there's still a couple of them sort of muttering like, but why would we want to die? What's the point? Throwing our lives away. But all in all, like, they all look sort of ready to follow you.
I don't expect you to want to die, to be honest. Kind of makes me nervous when I hear people say they want to die. But that's not your job as a Garu. Your job is to fight for those that live.
The murmurs of agreement start to increase. Some of the ones that were doubting, like, now slowly start to nod as well.
So let's fight for those that live.
There's there's not a shout like "Let's fight," but there's like a yeah, let's yeah, and they start to pack up their weapons and follow. Mm, You start to climb a hill. I take it that you're going in the
Yeah,
direction
Jacob
that.
just gives them a brief rundown of what the plan is, and he's just gonna say, "Plan simple. We head round the right side. We meet up with the Gara on the left side. Sorry, he won't say Gara. He'll say we'll meet up with what's Eric's team name?
Oh Jesus. Oh god, what
Um,
was his dude name? He had so many. I'm
something
trying
to
to
do
come
with
up with
something to
one.
do with lightning. Well, Jacob will just say deed name rise.
Yeah, that's
Gara on the left side. Vice grip, real simple.
right. Yeah, they start to grab like
So let's do
spears
this.
and turn into Krenos
Yeah, Jacob goes Krenos as well.
and you'll go around the right side of the hill, and as you go, you look into a large valley, and there is nothing but inky blackness. You don't even need to have sandworm to feel the wrongness kind of oozing out of you, almost, or out of it, almost like seeping into your skin, like it's already starting to sort of drown out your sense of being in a way, just by looking at it. And you actually have one guy who is like whimpering, and you can kind of smell that he's like pissing himself.
Need to keep track of my noses.
And as you stand there and you look over this valley, at the other side, you see something breaking into that shadow. It seems like a very tiny light almost. And as you look, you see that it's a silver reflection of a clave. And the silver shimmer of Luna's armor kind of boring itself into this blackness.
Jacob, Jacob spins a willpower to activate Lambent Flame.
Hmm.
And Jacob will just say, well, Eric's not going to do this all by himself. Come on.
You can hear one of your people saying, but he's gonna die as well, and then makes a run for it away from the group. The rest of them will, look at you and will howl, like one of the Galliards probably does a howl, right? A howl of war, anthem of war. And Jacob, if you charge in here, you will not survive this charge.
Well,
In fact, you see right before you storm in, you see this little group of silver starts to slink. It's not gone yet, but it's getting smaller and smaller.
well, Jacob's just going to kind of give one last look back to the group as he's just going to say, make this one worth talking about. And he's going to charge. He puts basically all of the gifts he can on open display. He looks like I suppose if one could look like some sort of angel borderline avatar of Gaia in this moment as he triggers the wrath of Gaia, he would. As he will as he will charge in. He's gonna go for the silver because that clave is not going to be claimed by the worm. If anyone's going to have it, it's going to be a Garu.
You and your little group weave your path through the shadows, and you start to see as you run into the shadows that the shadows are all Banes, kind of almost pressed so closely together that it's like they've become one. Become one. I can speak, I promise. Um, the good part about this is that slicing through them has become really easy because their movement is hampered. So you everywhere you slice, you will hit something, an arm, a leg, an appendix of some sort that you don't even recognize, a head, a torso, another arm. But the shadow starts to almost crawl over you and your little group. You get deeper and deeper into the middle of it. As you hear around you, you hear the raging of the Garu, the snarling of the Banes, the hissing of it. You feel the taint of the worm kind of spilling over you as Banes kind of, you know, lose whatever liquid is in their body over onto you. You can actually feel it seeping into your skin. You start to feel yourself getting tainted slowly simply by being here, simply by fighting this. But through sheer amount of will, you force through, you break through it. Your muscles start to hurt. You have the feeling that you've been fighting at this for hours, but it may not even have been more than 15 minutes. You start to hear less and less of the howls surrounding you. The hissing starts to increase, almost starts to increase like laughter coming from many mouths at once. But you still go closer and closer to this silver pinprick that is now nothing more than a pinprick, just that clave standing out. And you try and reach for it, and at that point you feel a sting, and you look down in your torso, and something black just sticks out from your back. You turn around and you, with your own clave and your claws, you dig into the Bane that's put his arm right through you. But as you decapitate him, another slash, and you feel one of your arms actually falling away from your body. And then another one. This one actually looks at you, rising up above the others. There's an evil grin on its face. And it swallows you. There's nothing but blackness around you. Pain is gone. You're there, in the darkness. Pain has faded almost instantly. You're not sure if you feel your own body or if it's just your spirit here. As you're floating. You're floating until you realize that you're actually in the water. You start moving, swimming towards what looks like a shore. And as you come across the shore, again, it looks strangely familiar. As you step onto a stone sidewalk, like you hoist yourself out of the water, you sit there, As you sit there, you see someone laying on the ground. There's blood all over her body.
Well, hmm. Jacob's reaction to that is more instinctual than anything else. He was kind of thinking up until this point, and I dead fuck, I really didn't want to lose this challenge, god damn it. He was kind of in a bit of a pit of self hatred, but as soon as he sees Robin, he wordlessly sprints towards her.
As she sees you approaching, her eyes wide with pain and just lying in a pool of her own blood, she coughs.
Robin.
Jake. Why weren't you there? He hit me too hard. I'm gonna die. I'm scared. Please.
Just stay with me.
Why did you leave us? Why did you leave us, Jacob?
I trusted you to take care of them. Fuck! You think I would have left you there if I knew that was gonna happen?
I was nothing but a cub. I'd only just become a Cleath. And she actually sits up. Like, she's still covered in blood, but doesn't seem to be in that much pain anymore as she just was. She just looks at you. You knew I wasn't a fighter. But you chose to go for the glory. Go for the... Could have easily taken out those two dogs with the three of us.
I didn't go for the glory. I didn't give a fuck about the glory, Robin.
You didn't?
I just thought he was gonna get away.
From Srigaru.
With us, but if that car gets going, if they got to that boat,
Because none of us could have driven a car.
we didn't have the keys to their cars, Robin.
Are you really such a good leader, Jacob? You have what it takes to be an Athro?
My actions will speak for themselves.
Your actions got me killed. Or are you going to say that that was my fault?
I'm sorry.
Apology accepted. And slowly the blood starts to, you know, disappear from her.
See, that was the most painful thing in my life.
I'm sorry. I didn't plan to.
Just kind of got done telling a bunch of people that, dying is bad and you shouldn't want it, so I get that. I think they might believe I'm dead. Um, it's gonna be an awkward conversation for later.
I have the feeling you'll have many awkward conversations later.
Just wish I could have had more of my favorite cousin.
We'll have a long time ahead.
Yeah,
I'm not gone. I'm just different. I guess I finally beat you at something.
I mean, you're always better at reading people anyway. It's kind of the one thing I'm still catching up to you on.
I may hope so. I was studying to become a psychologist. You became a cop. You're good at writing tickets. She winks.
I'm the best at writing tickets.
But Jake, what does it mean to be a leader? What does it mean to you to be an Athro of the nation?
At the end of the day, I just want to make things better. There's
You
so
know
many
that the
things.
decisions will only become harder.
Yeah, well, that's what I signed on for.
I'm here to ask you if you really know yourself. If you're ready. What are your talents? What makes you suited to be an Athro? But more importantly, and she kind of grins as I am a Shadow Lord. Your flaws,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
things that you trip, make you stop, make you hesitate. Are you aware of them?
To be honest, I feel like I'm more aware of my flaws than of my qualities. In part thanks to you.
To
Smile.
me,
I mean, I feel like the childhood competition helped a bit.
well, go on.
Well, hmm. I tend to I tend to spend more time thinking and talking than acting. I'm too concerned with certainty a lot of the time, I find. Like, in a lot of my investigations as a philodox and a cop, I often end up chasing down every lead, which sounds like a good thing until you realize, well, that's just given the perpetrator 5 years to get out of Dodge. And I mean, the simple truth is that nothing in life is completely certain. It's just me trying to exercise a bit of control over it. Because knowing how easy things can just end is kind of scary. And then, well, I tend to oscillate a bit between interventionism and isolationism. It's weird. I kind of ended up screwing up someone's chimonage because they were drowning, and the person doesn't have the best track record with self-preservation.
But isn't that their own choice? Do you need to save everyone, Jacob?
I would like to save as many people as I can.
But sometimes you can't.
No, found that out the hard way.
Can you accept that?
I came to accept it a couple of years ago. Wasn't easy, but well, I'm not Superman, and sometimes people just gotta help themselves. You know, if you spend all your time saving people, then in the end, they won't be able to fight for themselves when you're not there. So just gotta take a step out sometimes.
Do you know when to do that and when not?
I suppose that depends on the situation. There's never gonna be an easy answer to that. When to step out, when not to. You just gotta use your best judgment. Sometimes I might be wrong. I'm hoping I'll be wrong far less as an Afro or an Adrian than I ever will be as a Clear for a Cub.
We all grow.
Yep, hopefully the right way and not into madness. Seen enough weird things lately to almost cause me to believe I'm insane, but then I realize, well, I heard of there was that one time where a train ate someone, so it still hasn't reached that point. But I mean, I guess to speak of the things that are speak of things that are good about me, I guess to answer the rest of your question, I'd like to think of myself as fair and honest. I'd like to think of myself as just. Not always. I've made my fair share of mistakes in that. One big one I like to remind myself of so I don't do it again. And I've led more of my fair share of people in their fair share of battles. Not great at speeches. Once we get past that hurdle, I'd like to think I'm pretty talented.
It's good that you know that you still have things that you have to learn.
I mean, there's always new things to learn.
Good.
Good.
I've
If I
missed
didn't
you.
think I missed you too. I missed you a lot, Robin.
I'm sad I couldn't be around longer.
Still my favorite Lion Cub, though.
Your only lion cub.
Yeah. I mean, I know Simba now. She's giving you a real run for your money.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. She's about as proud as you are.
Well, lion was a good choice for us after all.
Yeah, it was. You because you're proud, and me because I kind of needed to learn to show a bit, I guess.
I suppose you could be more proud. You should be proud. Look at everything that you've achieved.
Hmm.
Look at what you're about to receive.
I better not be a bluff, or I'll be really mad with you.
It's time for you to wake up soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. This was nice.
It was. Can your cousin get a last hug?
Yeah. Yeah, she gets a last hug. And he'll get a hugger. Very, very, very tight squeeze.
And as you hug her, slowly, things start to get darker.
And perfect place for me to be a beer real quick. Lion.
Yes. So, as it takes some time for Jacob to be in this darkness, at some point he will open his eyes. There is darkness around him, but a flashlight next to him still shining. You can see the light of two other flashlights. As he looks in that direction, you can see Ilya and James laying on the ground. Yeah, as your flashlight shines, you see a statue in the darkness. It looks like this one, except it's not in a nice park, but it's inside the cave.
Jacob smiles at the statue. We'll make a brief attempt to rouse James or Ilya.
They're both seemingly asleep. It takes a few minutes, then Ilya will open her eyes.
Hey there, sunshine.
Oh, oh, that my head. Jacob, Raya, what happened?
Guys vanished. Then I found myself in a lot of different places. A lot of people I knew, both here and gone. And I managed to find my way here. You were asleep. I think James is still asleep.
I I didn't see you guys anymore.
Hmm.
And then I met people. Like you said, people I knew. It was strange.
Hey, Ilya.
Yes.
I called it. Wink.
You what?
He called it. Because remember all the way back at the Septophy thingamajig? Jacob implied this would happen to her. That's how he
She
managed to get her out her heritage out of. So he managed to get her heritage out of her.
she uh she nods. Then, you know, also tries to wake up James. She'll look back up at Jacob as James is not responding at all.
Hmm.
Jacob, Raya?
It took you a few minutes for me.
So maybe he just needs some more time, right? He
Hopefully.
did always like to sleep in.
Give him some time. If he doesn't wake up, I'll see if I can think of something.
Okay.
Hmm. I'm gonna have a look around. You stay with your pack mate, okay?
Yes.
Can you still sense him?
She frowns. It's he's he's there.
See
Sort
if you
of.
see if you can reach him. He might need a helping hand from you.
Yes.
I think our mind link snapped when we all vanished.
I mean, it was James who held it up, so
Hmm. Stick with him. I'll be back in a bit.
yeah. She'll sit next to him, next to James, and hold his hand.
Jacob's gonna head towards the shrine.
Yep. Shrine is there. As you start to approach, it's like this time actual torches that are hanging um, on the wall start to flicker up and light up this cave, giving a eerie, casting eerie shadows around this lion statue. And from behind the statue, someone is appearing. You
It's
made it.
I I did, although James is still out of it. Worried.
And Adebayo will look in the direction of the other two Garu and just nods. Either he'll pull through or not.
Anything we can do to help him?
What does your heart tell you?
Jacob kind of considers this for a moment.
Perhaps I should ask what your mind tells you. As the heart often wants what it cannot get.
It's true. My heart wants to help him. My mind tells me this is something he's supposed to pull through on his own. Or at least, if there is someone meant to help him, it's not me, it's Ilya.
Everybody who comes here the first time faces those things that have shaped him in the past. Or her. We've had one other Garu entering this place. Entering and making it out. One of them made it out, but he was damaged.
Yeah. It everything I've heard makes a lot more sense now.
Things always make sense when you look at them with hindsight.
Yeah, that's true.
But you've made it here. You've passed our tests. Well, passed our patrons' tests. From like in between the four paws of the statue, Adebayo will take a harp. And it looks like this.
Ooh.
I believe this is why you came to this place.
It is.
Let me tell you a story of how this harp came here. Back in those days, it were dark times. Many of our ancestors were on the brink of extinction, fighting for just survival, really. Then, from a silver bridge, a Garu showed up. He was old. Too old. No one remembers his name, but he carried the harp. He gave it to my ancestors. They said there would once be a time when it would have to be returned. And it would both be a blessing and a curse. So with this story in mind, here you go. And he'll hand you over the harp.
Thank you. And Jacob will take it. Looks at it. Doesn't play it. He doesn't know what that would do.
Present it to your king, Adebayo will say. Let's ask him to look at your story, look at what you've seen here, and think before he judges. We are not the enemy. You should not be ours. Not all of my kind understands this, and I know a lot of your kind doesn't understand that either. But perhaps this is a first step.
I think it is.
And we shall gladly pay the price to have this be that first step.
I really respect that, Adebayo. I'll do everything in my power to make sure there's a second.
Good. Shall we go back?
We should. Yeah, I
He
guess take it
nods
back.
and he will walk outside.
Um, so they're walking away from James and Ilya.
Adebayo is just walking right past them.
Okay. Any change?
No, Ilya just looks more worried. Actually, you know what? Roll me perception, alertness, or medicine.
I'm much better at one of those things than I am the other. Spell power. Oh, good thing I had a falconer. That would have been a straight fail. That's 4 successes.
Okay. If you look at James, you start to see actually from his ear that blood starts to drip.
Ooh. Hmm.
And then from his eyes, his nose.
Jacob's gonna do something. Because there might be a way he can intervene without actually intervening, or rather guide without robbing him of his challenge. I think this actually puts me down to a single gnosis.
Any noses you spent during this scene and the previous one,
Yeah, they stay. I
you
know that.
still have him.
I still have them?
You still have him.
Okay. In which case, I think I'm only down to like 3.
Any? Oh no, no, you did spend the willpower, but any noses you have.
Yeah. I think I'm on like 5 or 4 willpower now. Can't remember from like the 4 scenes prior to it. I don't think I spent that much, and I did sleep and get up, and I know you get willpower back from rest. This is a gift, so I can't use willpower on it. Okay, I
It
did
will
accidentally
start now
put
to
that at
sleep.
div 5, but I get 5 successes and Omen of Truth in regards to James in this trial.
Mm. What you see is you see James as a sort of a statue, and there's cracks in it, and it slowly starts to break apart.
Ouch.
Ilya notices the blood, and she will take out a talon and will smash it on him. And the blood will stop flowing. And at that point, he actually opens his eyes. But there's no recognition. No questions. No. There's nothing. His eyes just kind of stare blankly into nothing.
Jacob, he knows Ilya's going to be reeling from that, so he will actually take a moment and he will be there for her if she needs it.
Ilya starts, like, as he opens his eyes, she starts addressing him, starts asking questions. There's no response from James. She starts shaking him, and there's still no response. She slaps him in the face. He blinks once. And she looks at Jacob. He's, he's gonna be fine, right?
Jacob, Jacob looks at Ilya with a look of remorse.
She stares at him for a few seconds and then looks like she's about to cry, but I see.
I'm sorry.
We knew the risk of coming with you. He knew the risk of coming with you. She's gonna sit there staring at James for a while.
Would you prefer to be alone, or would you like me here?
If you could give me a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just kind of puts an arm on her shoulder, then lets her go.
So, where's Jacob going?
He's just gonna head out back without a bio.
Mm-hmm. Adebayo is already outside. Um, the other Simba are there. Actually, the Garu that are still alive are there as well. They will offer you food and drink, and you start to realize that you're actually really, really thirsty. You're really hungry.
Jacob will there's a degree of restraint because Jacob just saw somebody actually die for real. Um, and he'll take something to drink, take something to eat. He'll just say thank you.
So, is there anyone that Jacob wants to talk to at this point? Because there's a lot of them. We can draw this out for a long time, which I don't have. So,
I think he's at his chat of Adebayo. We can say he kind of has a chat with Nagiso and Mwangi just because they didn't really have a chance to talk in detail about anything other than the situation. Mwangi didn't talk at all. He would just kind of make some, just get to know them a little bit. Um, but if there's any person he would want to talk to, it'd probably be, just have a bit of a chat with Itoro, because it's Itoro.
I mean, you can talk with all three of them. Although the first two are not as talkative. They seem very reluctant to be close to any of the Garu, really.
That's fine. He kind of just respects their boundaries, so he doesn't press on them.
And Itoro seems to want to copy their behavior, but does have a little bit of curiosity over what just happened with Jacob. She'll actually ask, because she's never been allowed inside this cave. She'll look at the harp. So is that what you came here for?
In a sense,
It looks rather useless. A pretty thing.
I don't know. Homage have a saying not to judge a book by its cover. It means appearances can be deceiving.
She thinks on that and then nods, like yours. I thought you were just another dumb Karu.
Oh, thanks.
And you're not just another dumb Karu.
I'd be pretty angry with myself if I was. As it turns out, I don't really like being a dumb Garu. Being smart's a lot more fun.
If you say so. You're still Garu, though.
Hmm. Guess I'll just have to live with that.
I mean, you could die with that as well. But I would prefer if you keep living with that.
And I think I prefer you to keep living as well.
I wasn't planning on dying.
That's very good.
And at that point, Ilya will come walking out of the cave. She looks positively paler as usual.
Jacob will just offer her something to drink.
She'll accept some water. With your eye on the falcon, you can see a dagger that she has with her, and there's blood on it.
The saddest part about this is that as soon as Jacob realized James wasn't going to make it out, he knew he was going to have to do that, or she was.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. You going to be okay?
She's just gonna look at him and then turn away.
Hmm. He'll kind of
So,
ignore me.
mm, sorry, what did
He'll
you
just
say?
he'll just kind of respect that and just yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we can move on.
Yeah, we will move the scene on. You'll spend the night at the campment before, um, well, they will offer to escort you back to the Silver Bridge.
Jacob will go back.
Ilya will follow. And yeah, after making a stop at the Sept of Ptah and then taking a moon bridge, you will end up at Sept of the Green. You'll find this gentleman.
Hello there. Dare I say you're expecting me?
Dare I say that I've been expecting a lot. Did you find the item?
I do. I've got a story to share with it.
Very well. I will inform the king. I'm sure he'll be pleased. And he'll hold his hands out expectantly.
Hmm. Before I hand you the harp, may I show you my story first? It was something I did say I would do.
Do you wish to share it with me or with the king?
Both of you, if at all possible.
I am sure the king is eager at hearing your story. If you hand me the harp, I will make sure that he will make an appointment for you.
That's truth of Gyri.
I mean, that's fine. He is absolutely honest.
Yeah, for some reason I'm getting jitters handing this over to him. Like, I'm feeling nervous for some reason, even though we're in the middle of the Scepter to Green. This should really not be a concern.
There should really not be.
Pardon?
There should really not be.
Jacob will just give him the harp, and as he does so, he will simply say, "The somebody who gave this to me said they wanted us to know that they are not our enemy, even if they understand that not all of them understand that yet. This harp actually protected their lands. Without it, they're going to be in danger again. They still gave it back."
The herald looks hmm. He raises an eyebrow and says, "Duly noted. I'll make sure that your words will find their way to the king's ears, and I am sure you can expect an invitation soon. But as it is within my power to do so, congratulations. Athro, Jacob Clay."
Thank you. And I'd like to thank Ilya and James as well, because I wouldn't have made it this far without them.
I am glad that they were of assistance. And he'll look at Ilya and notice the absence of James. Raises another eyebrow.
That was a spirit quest involved in the reclaiming of the harp. James didn't make it back.
I see. A shame. He was promising.
He was a good man. Good Silverfang.
Go to the king's ear as well.
Thank you. You deserve
You
that.
you will hear from us soon. And with that, he will step on the moon bridge. And unless there's anything else that you want to do,
No, other than just maybe have a look at Ilya, kind of what she's thinking.
um, Ilya is, as she's been the entire journey, incredibly quiet. She hasn't really spoken like on her own accord, only when you asked her some things, and the answers were usually extremely short. As you look at her, she'll look back.
Thanks.
With your permission, Jacob, Raya, I would like to stay here for a while.
I'll make sure you're more than welcome.
And she nods.
I should introduce you to Roland. He's Silverfang Ragabash that made it to sets recently.
And she nods. And as you have this conversation from the moon bridge, there will actually be a howl echoing through the umbra, announcing your status as an Athro. And I would say that is the moment that we are going to end the scene.
Yeah.
Thank you, player, for making it through 7 or 8 scenes of this.
Yes.
And
7
congratulations on completing your Ethra challenge. Thank you, any watchers who've watched 7 or 8 scenes of this. And I hope everybody enjoyed this. And we will see you again soon on Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.